The first rule of working at a cemetery is don't get too acquainted with them folk down below, because you know you ain't getting them back. The second rule of working at a cemetery is don't leave your cake in an open grave, because you know you ain't getting that back. And the third rule of working at the cemetery is you do not talk about Fight Club. And that actually brings us to the subject of losing things. Or the first two rules do. You see, I've got this nasty habit of losing things. And actually, just the other day, you know, I think I may actually have lost my line of thought. I guess I'll just tell you more about working at the cemetery then. The cemetery is actually a pretty hectic place to work. 1 minute you're drinking your coffee, and then all of a sudden, you look at the clock and realize you have to go to work. Then you just have to drop everything you're doing and leave your home. Get into your car, pull out of the driveway, drive past the donut place, park your car at the cemetery parking lot, and get to work. Though I suppose it doesn't really matter if you're there on time, since the owner of the cemetery doesn't come to check up on you all that often. Though I suppose if you don't do your job, the cemetery will get messy, and then someone visiting the cemetery might file in a complaint. The work includes brushing leaves, mowing the lawn, and every now and then, digging up a new grave. And then, filling it up again. And then what? Well, life goes on for us. For me, I don't have any co-workers. Though I suppose life does also go on for others. Right now, I'm going up the elevator to experience my favorite part of working at the cemetery. And that's going back down the elevator to chat with my favorite zombie, Miss Lowenstein. When I was younger, Miss Lowenstein used to be my teacher, and she was actually pretty cool as a teacher. And now that she was a zombie, she had all the time in the world, so we could talk about pretty much anything. How's my favorite zombie? Same here, Deborah. But I'd actually like to talk to you about something. You see, I've been losing a lot of stuff lately, and Oh yeah? Well, how do you know? You're just a stupid zombie. And besides, shouldn't you be eating brains or something? I hate you.
Whatever.
I love it when she says whatever, like she's alive or something. She cracks me up. But then I came across something that totally took me out of my good mood.
Poor Jim. He was just 2 days away from getting that new Nazi zombie DLC. Yeah, zombies are pretty cool, huh? Yeah, totally. You can like shoot them in the head and stuff. Yeah, they're wicked awesome.
When I heard those words, I completely lost it. Just like I had lost my remote controller between the couch pillows. What you fools talking about zombies? You ever even seen a zombie?
Yeah, I've actually seen quite a few zombie movies.
I ain't
talking about no film. I'm talking about real live undead. What? There's no such thing. No such thing, huh? People like you make me sick. You talk about how cool zombies are even though you've never even met one and gotten to know it. Them zombies have been around for more than twice your lifetime and are sure to have a lot of interesting stories to tell. But do you care? No! You just call them things like wicked awesome to feel better about yourself. And then you go around spewing out stereotypical things about zombies, like you gotta shoot them in the head. Why would you have to shoot them in the head? Just blow up the legs. If it crawls and you chop off the arms with a chainsaw. Then what's it gonna crawl at you with? Its eyebrows? I doubt it. I was so mad then. I suppose I was even more mad than my cousin, Mad Marty. He once won the lottery and used the money to build himself a house made out of jello. That was one comfy house, I'll give him that. But on those warm and sunny days, that house was just about as nice as I was to those two fellers. I decided to go tell Deborah about what it went down. But guess who I bumped into on the way there? None other than the owner of the cemetery, Mr. Muddleberg himself. We need to have a talk, Jonathan. Okay, if this is about the little outburst I had, then I'm sorry. I was just upset and tired because I lost my keys and then I had to sleep in a coffin. No, I actually hadn't even heard about that. I'd just like to ask you to please stop bothering Mrs. Riverbank. Stop acting stupid with me, Jonathan. This is serious. I seriously have no idea what you're talking about. Well, in that case, how about I refresh your memory? She is that nice old lady that comes here to bring flowers to her husband's grave nearly every day. She's filed in multiple complaints about you, Jonathan. From what I've heard, you've been telling her some pretty disturbing things. Asked her to eat brains, called her your teacher and everything. I mean, this just won't do, Jonathan. Oh, snap. So I guess what had happened was that I just couldn't accept that Miss Lowenstein was gone. And that nothing would ever bring her back. So I fooled myself into thinking she was going to be around forever. I was so blind. But I guess there's a silver lining. Miss Lowenstein had finally taught me something I would remember. Zombies don't exist. At least not the one I believed in. But I guess that in the end, I had also learned that... it appears I have lost the last few pages of the script. A shame, really. I had written down this whole emotional speech that was gonna really crown the whole thing. But I guess that's not happening anymore. Oh, well. After I had left some flowers on Mr. Riverbank's misnamed grave, I knew there was only one thing I could do at that point. And so I went to get myself a cheeseburger.
How's my favorite zombie?
Alright, so last night I put my keys down here, and I wake up this morning, and they're gone. And what I want to know is, what the hey, what?